So imagine that you go out to your favorite Italian restaurant and all of the employees are dressed out of their closet. When you see the waiters and the waitresses walking around, they look strange because regular people don't walk around with trays of food. Now, you're sitting here and it's just very distracting and it's pulling your attention away from whoever it is that you're with. You keep glancing over their shoulder. Now, this may sound like no big deal, but it's the confusion that's created is creating a negative time, right? Now, you might think, hey, I don't run a restaurant, right? Keep going with me, okay? The thing is that anything that pulls the attention away from how professional you are and gives any sort of appearance of you being unprofessional is a huge deal. Okay, so you may not run an Italian restaurant, but you understand the idea that if the employees show up like they're working at a food truck, it's going to be hard for the company to demand the pricing of a fine Italian restaurant when everybody is dressed like they work at a food truck. All right, so let's do another real world example, okay? So you're on your way home, and the way that your house is positioned on the street, you can see the house, but you can't see the driveway. And as you're pulling up, you realize, hey, wait a second, there's a hobo up on my roof. Wait a second, there's like 5 hobos up on my roof. And you realize that these are the roofers that you hired. Now, you paid $10,000 to have this roof put on your home, which is a fair amount of money. And now you're like, wait a second, they are not dressed like I expected my roofers to be dressed. And you start having, confidence issues, right? You start questioning this. And you get out of your car and you walk up to the house and you're standing there kind of confused and you're looking up at this and your neighbor comes out and your neighbor goes, did you get a really great deal? I mean, those guys look like a bunch of hobos. They don't look like professionals at all. I would have expected that you would have gotten, a good reputable company, right? Everybody in the neighborhood is going to be needing a roof within a few years of each other because the neighborhood was built all at the same time. Now, do you think that your neighbor is going to ask one of the roofers for a card? Probably not. The people that are driving by are looking and saying, oh, wow, I wonder if those are relatives of his or what, right? So now it's actually a little bit embarrassing to you because you have a bunch of people that look like you hired day laborers. The thing is that wearing a uniform is super important. Nobody's going to tell those roofers that they look like a bunch of hobos. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's going to tell you that your employees, because of the fact that they look like day laborers, that they're expecting a great deal. You don't even know that people aren't asking for your card because they're like, I don't want that on my house. I don't want those guys up on my roof, right? You're missing out on work. How much is that worth to you? You spend a lot of money on marketing and you spend a lot of money on your salespeople and you neglect the small thing, and that small thing makes it so that you miss out on a bunch of other things. So get the uniforms, get your employees looking sharp. And in the other videos, I will show you how to determine what is the appropriate clothing for what you're doing, when to buy name brand products, and that sort of thing. So, I'm Adam Funderburg, the owner of Brainless Tees. I'd love to remind you to never apologize for being awesome, baby. Bye-bye.